sorry to interrupt your news station on WTTW. This is a national emergency. Important guidelines will follow. The following message has been transmitted by request of the Crescent City Fire Department. At 6:31 a.m. Central Daylight Time, a freight train loaded with hazardous materials derailed near the bank of Crescent City, Illinois. At this time, details are unknown as fires have been lit in numerous areas. Stay tuned for further updates. Regular broadcasting will resume now. Fire warning, the following message has been transmitted by request from the Crescent City Fire Department. At around 6:37 a.m. Central Daylight Time, multiple 911 calls poured into the hotline. Witnesses recall explosions of lit propane and other flammable materials reaching 2,000 feet into the air. A mandatory evacuation has been given to anyone in the Crescent City, Illinois area. The situation is too much for fire rescues to handle. They too are being evacuated for their own safety. Stay tuned for further updates. Civil danger warning in effect until further notice. The following message has been transmitted by request from the National Guard. At around 6:40 a.m. Central Daylight Time, confirmed reports of leaking propane have contaminated the crash site. The flames are 960 feet above sea level. Heavy smoke is also present in the vicinity of the crash site. Stay tuned to WTTW on your news stations for additional info on evacuation procedures. Stay tuned for further updates. Broadcasting has been discontinued for the time being. Telephone outage warning. The following message has been transmitted by request from the Salem, Illinois Emergency Management. At around 6:44 a.m. Central Daylight Time, a confirmed report of 911 offices have been closed for the day. As a serious precaution, the computer system for the dispatch operators were fried in the process. 911 is out of service for your entire area until further notice. If you are in need of medical attention, dial 0 for your operator, or dial 1-800-582-0655 for Quest ID calling. Stay tuned for further updates. Shelter-in-place warning for your area until further notice. The following message has been transmitted by request from the National Guard. At around 6:53 a.m. Central Daylight Time, a mandatory evacuation has been placed for the entire Crescent City area. As a likely fatal precaution, to prevent sparks from reaching power lines, all water systems are also shut down due to the similar connection in the water supply. Repeating again, all water supplies for firefighting have been shut down until further notice. Stay tuned for further updates. Attention citizens of Crescent City, Illinois. The fires of the freight train derailment are getting too close to the area. Final warning. Evacuate the area immediately. A critically fatal explosion is likely to occur within the next 5 to 10 minutes. I repeat, final warning to evacuate your area or head underground for your own safety. Brace yourself for sudden impact. Emergency update, the freight train has exploded. Flames have shot 4,000 feet above sea level. Anyone still trying to find shelter, run for your lives. 4th and 5th degree burns are fatal upon impact. We will continue to update you in your shelter by tuning a radio to 1240 FM on your dial for more information on this developing story. This is WTTW. We will continue to update news for the Chicago area. Again, tune to 1240 FM on your radio dial for additional bulletins on this developing story. We are sorry to interrupt your programming on WTTW. This is an emergency update to the explosion at Crescent City, Illinois. At around 7:15 a.m. Central Daylight Time, the area of Crescent City has turned itself into a war zone. As a horrific precaution, 15 houses have been completely destroyed by critical fire and smoke damages. Damages to the property near the Crescent City parking lots were also destroyed in the blast. This is WTTW. We will continue to serve the Chicago area. Tune to 1240 FM on your radio dial during the stay in the shelter. Do not open windows. You are exposing yourself to toxic smoke inhalation. Stay tuned for further updates. Telephone outage warning for the city of Mendota. The following message has been transmitted by request of the Illinois State Police and the Mendota Fire Department. At around 7:22 a.m. Central Daylight Time, the headquarters to the 911 Communications Center has been disconnected and is out of service until further notice. Anyone needing medical attention, you are advised to dial 0 for your operator. Also, you can call the Quest ID at 1-800-582-0655 for urgent assistance. News bulletins have ceased programming. Emergency update: the 911 center at Mendota has been fully repaired and restored. However, the 911 calls from Crescent City are still off limits. Anyone in the Crescent City area, please do not panic. The trauma units are en route to the crash site. WTTW has discontinued programming by request of the National Guard. Also, anyone in the shelters, do not open your windows. You are exposing yourself to toxic smoke inhalation. Highways leading to and from Mendota are also shut down until further notice. Stay tuned for further updates. This just in, an investigation is being under review for any kind of unlawful negligence. Thankfully, there are confirmed reports of 0 fatalities. However, 12 suffered critical and severe injuries from second and third degree burns. The emergency units are still evacuating people to area hospitals for any kind of unknown injuries. It was also confirmed that 19 freight cars, 10 of them tank cars, were completely destroyed in the wreck and explosion. Again, the investigation is being looked upon under review. Stay tuned for further updates. Urgent bulletin: the 911 system in Crescent City, Illinois, has been fully repaired and restored. However, an all clear has not yet been given to anyone in a shelter. Also, the flames are still not completely dead, so stay away from this area. Bulldozers have been sent to clean up the mess. Repeating again, the 911 system in Crescent City has been fully restored and repaired. No all clear signals were given to anyone in a shelter. Stay tuned for further updates on WTTW as the story develops. We are sorry to interrupt your news programming on WTTW. This is an emergency update by request of the United States government. This is not a test. The flames from the train wreck have been fully extinguished. However, all clear signals have not yet been given. Anyone in the shelters, do not leave your shelters yet. You are still exposing yourself to toxic smoke inhalation. This is WTTW. Again, you are listening to news updates surrounding the Chicago area. Please stand by for this message by request of the United States government and the NTSB as further updates are announced. The NTSB and the Federal Railroad Administration are finalizing the investigation on what caused the crash. Also, all the hazardous materials that burned 14 hours ago have been decontaminated. This is WTTW. We will continue to serve the Chicago area. Again, do not leave your shelters, as you are exposing yourself to toxic smoke inhalation. Please stand by for later statements from the NTSB and the Federal Railroad Administration. Programming has partially resumed now. Stay tuned for further updates. Attention, the NTSB has released a statement from the Santa Fe Railroad. This message was sent by request of the Toledo-Peoria Western Corporation. A rumor has spread that bad track or worn-out journals in the wheels were the culprit of the crash. Details are scarce at this time, but more and more outlets are pouring in for later statements on this developing situation. We are still combing through the debris for the source of the derailment. Thank you and stay safe. This concludes the statement from the NTSB. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This system has interrupted programming by request of the United States government to participate in this emergency. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air, providing news updates in assigned areas. This is WTTW. We will continue to serve the Chicago area. Local outlets are available if you are not in this area. Do not use your telephones, unless you are calling 911 for emergencies. The emergency alert system has been activated. We interrupt your news programming on WTTW. This is a national emergency. Important guidelines will follow. This message has been transmitted by request from the NTSB. The cause of the derailment is finally confirmed. An overheated bearing in the 20th freight car was matched as the culprit to this horrific disaster. An all clear has been given to anyone in a shelter. Once again, we thank you for your cooperation with local and federal authorities during this critical emergency. We will now return to WTTW for normal programming.